The Memphis Mix.
What's up, Pancake Posse? This is the Memphis Mix. I'm your host, Parker Purdue. Welcome back to another episode. Let's get right into it. First of all, the snap streak is still going along great with Julio, my co-host's son. Of course, he could not make it because my friend who I have the snap streak with is having a baby. So they're having a baby shower in Chattanooga. Shout out the baby. Shout out Julio and his son. And shout out Darrow901 for our intro. That is BOTB by Darrow. Great track, great guy. I've enjoyed getting to know him and following him online. Follow him, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Darrow on YouTube is where you can find his music. We had our hardest away game of the season this last week, and the Tigers could not get it done. It was an emotional loss. I'll be honest, I felt less bad about it than most people because this was the one game I expected us to lose this season. So that was kind of expected on my part. I just didn't think that we'd perform as well on the road as we had at home, and I was somewhat right. So it was not even sweet. It was just very bitter losing that game. But we'll get into that in a minute. This show's goal: announce the Memphis Mixer of the Week, highlight a player who's been doing an outstanding job and continues to do an outstanding job, and we fill the void in Memphis media. If you have been a Tigers fan for longer than 10 years, you know the Tigers are doing big things, and no one's talking about it, or at least being as positive as we think they should be about it. We've only won 2 conference championships in the last 50 years, so at any rate, we are making great strides as a program. Before 2014, the last conference championship we won was 1971 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Let's get into the review of the post-game review of last night's performance. Memphis did not score in the first quarter. If you were watching the game on ESPN, you, like me, heard that ECU does pretty well when they're the first team to score, which they were. They still scored 7 in the first quarter. Memphis answered with 17 in the second quarter. Outstanding work, guys. ECU a mere 3 points. Then Memphis kind of got shaky. We went 3 and out for the first time in the third quarter. 7 points, 3 points in the fourth quarter to ECU's 14 in the third, 7 in the fourth. If you know math, that is 27-31 Memphis loss, a heartbreaking loss. Memphis did have an above-average game in terms of total yards. We were averaging 429 yards per game in total yards, and ECU was allowing 326 yards per game on average. So ECU really had to step up to the plate when they played us to beat us because we had 457 yards. They had 454. So we just barely beat them in total yards. We did not win the turnover battle, which was going to be a big part of winning this game. We tied the turnover battle. We threw an interception and recovered a fumble. We had another maybe call, but handshakes and hand grenades. You can't play almost and win every football game. First downs, 24 to their 24, pretty evenly matched. First half, I don't think we had a single penalty on either side of the ball until the third quarter. Third and fourth quarter, we had 5 penalties for 55 yards. They had 8 for 72 yards. So we won the penalty game. That was nice to see. And then here's the kicker. Not the actual kicker, but the kicker is third down. We were 4 for 16. I think the penalties played a lot into that, but we really struggled to convert on third down. I blame the play calling to some extent. I think we ran routes that we knew wouldn't work and expected Brendan Lewis just to take off with it like he normally would after the field opened up, but he's real hurt. We have a mobile quarterback who is not very mobile anymore. I mean, he was our second best rusher last night, 50-something odd yards, but you can't expect him to convert every single third down when he's barely on the field as is. I think he sat twice for injury last night, maybe once, maybe twice. Fourth down, we were 3 for 4. That's great. The other team didn't even have to go for it on fourth down once. And we won time of possession, 35-33 to their 24-27. Conference standings after this game. Navy is 6-1, 8-2 overall. Tulane is 5-1, 8-2 overall. North Texas is 5-1, 9-1. East Carolina 5-1, 7-3. South Florida 4-2, 7-3, and Memphis 4-3, 8-3. So we will still go to a bowl game. We have won 6 games. We've won 8 games, but it looks like we are more than likely out of the running for the conference championship and therefore the college football playoffs. Rough time. Yeah. Brendan Lewis threw 32 passes that were completed for 209 yards. Hauser, their quarterback, threw 23 for 332 yards. After the first half, I think they realized that our corners were exposed, and they really just they threw the ball all over us, which was very sad to see. But that's what happens when you have a new cornerback coach and you haven't had a lot of success against the pass historically. Teams are going to figure that out sooner than later. Drew Watts had 1 sack, which was great to see. Sam Brunfield had an outstanding game. So our linebackers, it was not from lack of trying. Our linebackers got a lot done. Sam Brunfield, 12 tackles over tackle. Solo, 5 tackles. Everett Russaw had a great game, 5 solo tackles, 1 sack, which was a tackle for loss. Memphis ran the ball. We said that our team hadn't really run the ball in the last 3 games. Memphis ran the ball, which was nice to see. I believe our leading rusher was Sutton Smith with a little bit over 108, 109 yards. That was nice to see. We gave the ball generously to Frank Peasant, DeRosier, and Sutton Smith. So, like I said, it wasn't from lack of trying. And our players, this is pretty much the last thing I want to say about last night's performance, is our players continue to not know how to get out of bounds in the fourth quarter, which hurts us. We had one play in the fourth quarter where we got up to the line and we snapped the ball, and it probably would have been a touchdown to win the game, but the other team got a timeout off just in time. So that hurts too. That really does hurt. Now for what we've all been waiting for, the Memphis Mix. Today we have a real treat, a defensive Memphis Mixer. This is for Week 11, last week, Memphis Mixer of the Week. Let's see who we got. Kept us in the game. If that drive goes on, they're on the 40-yard line. We have a minute left, maybe a minute left with the ball, and we have to drive it back to try to match whatever they do. But we were able to get a field goal after this. Shout out William Whitlow Jr. And I hate for your play to be one you almost got injured on. That's 2 weeks in a row we did this with Arrington Maiden last week. But it is those plays. It's those plays where you put your body on the line and you know where you got to be and you get there. and William Whitlow got there, got a hand on the ball, caused that turnover, and helped us almost win the game. Shout out William Whitlow Jr., Memphis Mixer of the Week, Week 11. Last week's Memphis Mixer of the Week, we were able to contact Arrington Maiden and get his pancake mix near him. Here on your screen is not Arrington Maiden, but who we have dubbed Dorrington Maiden or Door Maiden. He works in Arrington's apartment building and accepted the pancake mix on his behalf, to which Arrington said he'd go pick it up. So shout out Door Maiden, shout out Arrington Maiden. You guys are the best. We do this for y'all. We hate for it to be a bother getting you pancake mix in a big game week. So we'll get it to you any way we have to. There was a potential guest on the show who I tried to secure for reasons beyond my control. He could not make it today, and we were having technical difficulties, so I didn't push the envelope with our second mic. So he could not make it today. He is Ash Mogsu. I think I said that right. Hold on. Ash Mogsu on TikTok. Many people have actually heard of him. They just don't know his name. He's got a funny username. It's just like an asterisk. But Ash Mogsu makes these edits on TikTok, and I decided I was going to share one with you today. He does not know that I've downloaded it and I'm sharing it with you today. He thought I would share it if he's on the show. We're sharing it regardless because this guy's awesome and his work needs to be.
Being a winner is a curse. It doesn't matter how much you've won before. You're not a winner till you win again.
Yeah, shout out Ash Mogsu. Great performance. Great friend I've had this football season, really talking ball. I've been editing some stuff. He's been editing some stuff. We've been bouncing ideas back and forth. Great guy. Great guy. All right, we're doing something we've never done before. We're fixing to talk some basketball, Memphis basketball. Memphis basketball. And you know what we have today? We have a game against UNLV. And you know what I'm hearing from our guys, Drew Watts, Brendan Lewis, Cortez Bram, is that they ain't got no pancake mix. They ain't got no...
You ain't got no pancake mix.
UNLV ain't got no pancake mix.
You ain't got no pancake mix.
And they need some milk.
They need some milk.
They need some milk. Because what do you mean you're going to try to come here and beat us in a basketball game? We play the number 2 team in the country on Thursday. We play Purdue Thursday. So exciting time to be a Memphis basketball fan. But I'm not going to glaze them all day. We're going to talk some real ball here because I've been watching every single game, even those preseason games. And let me tell you, there is some fundamental things going on with this basketball team that when they're fixed, we are going to be dangerous. First and foremost, we looked good against Ole Miss, our very first legit game. But our guys are still turning over the ball. 13 turnovers to Ole Miss's 8. The same old song and dance under Penny. Turnovers. Luckily, Ole Miss didn't score off any of our turnovers, or we would have been in for a long, long night. That was a close game all the way up to the end. I was pretty happy with how our guys played. We had 25 fouls. That's a little high. I don't know the average in the country, but 25 fouls, that's pretty high, in my opinion. In my opinion, when you foul in a sports game, is because you were not prepared, or you were lazy, or you were outmatched. And there's no in between. Most of the time, you're tired. You're lazy, you're not prepared. It's first two. Outmatched, you sort of understand, you make the foul, you make them work extra hard for those extra 2 or 3 points. But I think lazy fouls kill our Memphis basketball team. They kill us in the postseason. They've killed us in the Maui tournament when we've gone. So really what I want to see from our basketball guys is less lazy fouls. Play fundamentally sound, quick pace, fun basketball. When you settle into the rules and the whistle's not blowing every other play, it's fun to play Memphis basketball. I guarantee you. I'm a retired middle school basketball player. I never quite got there in height, but I have played collegiate sports. I played collegiate water polo, and it was always the guys weakest getting drowned and then getting the foul called on the next play. Imagine you're getting your head dunked underwater and you're getting kicked out of the game for fouling. It's just not a good look. It's just don't be lazy. That's my ball knowledge right there, 101. No lazy fouls. And here's the kicker right here. I looked at all of our guys' stats from the Ole Miss game, and I really just couldn't believe that we weren't driving into the basket. I know we had 3 awesome NBA point guards last season, but really nobody driving into the basket, no rim presence. We got some rebounds. One of our guys began with a C. I'm sorry, I blanked on his name. He had 11 rebounds. He was good, but offensive, defensive. But what you really hate to see is our guys. We have 10 guys. We have 10 big guys on our team. 10 guys over 6'7", including Ashton Hardaway, who combined for 22 points. Now, not all of them played, but we have 10 big guys combining for 22 points. That is inexcusable. I mean, I understand why we have all these big guys. We're looking at Florida last year. We're looking at, I think, Auburn last year. All those top 4 teams in Florida who won it, tallest teams in the country. But if we're going to have these big guys, they got to have a rim presence and they got to be scoring baskets. We need them playing big. You can be big, but you got to play big. When I last played football, I was in 6th grade. It was my second year, and we were practicing with a kid that went to our church. He came and played football for us that season. He was like, I was probably 5'6", 5'7", maybe 5'5", and he was like 6'2" and 250 pounds. The kid was huge at 10 or 12 years old. I don't even know. And I'm just throwing numbers, but he was big. I was small. He weighed a lot. I did not. And they would line me up against this kid and make me run the ball through him every single play. And they just showed him, like, you got to play like a big kid. And he was like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't know what movie that's like. It's like a movie where the big kid doesn't want to hurt anybody, but realizes he can. I don't know if you ever figured it out. You got to play your size. If you're a small guy, you got to fit into the fit where you fit, get in your lanes. And if you're a big guy, you got to collapse those lanes. Any sport, if you're big, you got to play big. So we talked about our Memphis Mixer. We talked about ECU, heartbreaking loss. Let me know if you want to hear more basketball. This is a bye week, so we're not really going to talk about the coming team that shall not be named coming in on Thanksgiving. All I'm going to say about that is it's going to be un-American how bad we're about to beat Navy at home. The whole country is going to be rooting for Navy, and Memphis is nah. And all you sports bettors out there, lay off this one. The odds aren't going to be great. You're not gonna be making tons of money betting for Memphis. Lay off this one. Be all natural, no preservatives, rooting for this Memphis football team because it's going to be a great team to watch. From the 901 to your ears, If you ain't got no mix, you ain't Memphis.
You ain't got no pancake mix.
To this art, till we top the charts, I rise to the occasion. Fuck all that hating, that shit won't save you. I swear that shit won't save you. But who in the back?